Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got a story for you that is going to make you think twice before you snap your next selfie. It starts, as so many strange things do these days, with a new phone. I just upgraded, the feeling super excited to test out the new camera, all the fancy features. I was at home, just messing around, and decided to take a quick selfie to send to my friends. I opened the camera app, flipped it to the front-facing camera, and framed the shot. Just a standard cheesy grin. I snapped the picture, and then I went to my gallery to check it out, and that's when I saw it. It was faint, really faint, almost like a smudge on the lens, but it was there. Standing right behind me in the blurry background of my living room was a shape, a dark, vaguely human-shaped silhouette. My first thought was, weird glitch. I cleaned the lens, checked for smudges, even restarted the phone. I shrugged it off. It was a new phone, probably just a software bug. I took another selfie right then and there. This time, I made sure the background was just a plain white wall. I took the picture, looked at it, and it was still there. The same dark shape lurking behind my shoulder. It was a little more defined this time. Not much, but enough for me to feel a genuine chill crawl up my spine. That night, I tried to forget about it. I told myself it was a technical issue, something I could get fixed at the store the next day, but I couldn't sleep. The image of that shape was burned into my mind. The next morning, I woke up, and the first thing I did against my better judgment was take another selfie. My heart was pounding as I opened the gallery. The shape was there, and it was clearer. I could almost make out the suggestion of a head, of shoulders. It was taller than me, thin, and just standing there, motionless. This went on for days. Every single selfie I took on every single app, the default camera, Instagram, Snapchat, it didn't matter. The figure was always there, getting sharper with each photo. It was like a photograph developing in slow motion, but only in my selfies. I started to become obsessed. I took pictures constantly, documenting its terrifying evolution. The smudge became a silhouette, the silhouette became a figure. I could start to see the texture of what looked like tattered clothing. It had long, thin limbs, but the face was always a blur, a void. I stopped leaving the house. I was terrified. Was this thing really behind me? I'd spin around, but there was never anything there. I'd look in the mirror, and my reflection was alone. It only existed in the digital world of my front-facing camera. My friends started calling, worried. I tried to explain it to them. I even sent them the pictures. They thought I was pranking them, that it was a clever filter or some Photoshop trick. They told me I was losing it. Maybe I was. The paranoia was eating me alive. I felt constantly watched. I'd sit in a room and my skin would crawl with the feeling of unseen eyes on the back of my neck. I kept the phone with me at all times, like it was some kind of cursed object I couldn't get rid of. I had to know what would happen next. I had to see its face. A week had passed since that first photo. I was a wreck. I hadn't slept properly. I barely ate. I looked in the mirror and saw a ghost staring back at me, pale with dark circles under my eyes. I knew something had to give. That night I sat on my bed, the room lit only by my phone screen. My hands were trembling so badly I could barely hold it steady. I took a deep breath, opened the camera app, and flipped it to selfie mode. On the screen I saw my own terrified face, and behind me the figure stood in perfect, horrifying clarity. It was no longer a blur. It was a person or something that looked like one. It was tall and gaunt, dressed in what looked like old, rotting clothes. Its skin was pale and waxy, and for the first time I could see its face. It had two dark, empty sockets where eyes should be, but that wasn't the worst part. As I stared, frozen in terror at the image on my screen, something happened. A change. Slowly, unnaturally, the corners of its thin, pale lips began to curl upwards. It stretched into a wide, impossibly large grin. A smile that was pure malice. It was smiling at me from inside my phone. I screamed and threw the phone across the room. It hit the wall with a crack and the screen went dark. I scrambled out of my bed, backed into the corner of the room, and just stared at the dead phone lying on the floor. The silence in the room was deafening. For the first time in a week, the feeling of being watched was gone. I was alone. I never touched that phone again. I left it there on the floor, and in the morning, I gathered my things and I left that apartment. I moved to a new city, got a new number, and bought the cheapest, most basic phone I could find. One without a front-facing camera. Sometimes when I see people taking selfies, I feel that old chill run down my spine. I want to warn them, to tell them to check the background, to look closer. Because you never know what glitches might be lurking in the code, or what might be standing right behind you, waiting for the perfect moment to smile. Thanks for watching. If you have any creepy tech stories of your own, drop them in the comments below. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.